Karen Bonifilio, Inner Realms, Outer Journeys. We have a wonderful guest today, and she's going to educate you about rocks and minerals and all of that. She's incredible. This is Rebecca Castro. Rebecca, say hi to the audience.
Hello.
Well, I have known Rebecca for quite some time, and she is amazing. I have learned so much from her the past few weeks. She blows me away, and I know she's gonna blow you away. And we're just gonna talk about a few things today, but she is a wealth of knowledge. So let me tell you a little bit about her. She is married, and she and her husband own a business, and her business is based on her mutual love of minerals and geology. And this store that she is invested in is in Vancouver, the Vancouver Mall, which is in Vancouver, Washington. But get this, she started a mining company in 2018 with one of the mineral claims in California for garnet. She also travels with her friends to claims and helps them work in exchange for minerals and selling them. And they make enough to get to the next place, and then they keep on going. And I think you have a few claims and mines, don't you, Rebecca?
Yeah, this year we'll have 7 total.
Okay, so I want you to know that I told my friend Tracy about you, and she wants to go mining with you. She goes, Karen, don't you want to go and mine with her? And I said, well, yeah, but I don't think she's going to take us. So don't be surprised if she asks you to take us
All
mining, but
right.
you don't feel obligated. Anyway, so I think that's really cool. I know someone that mines and everything. So first thing I want to ask, and I do want to talk about certain crystals, and then I want to talk about your store, and I also want to talk about some people pass crystals off as crystals that are not crystals, they're fake crystals. And I
Yeah.
want you to touch upon that because I found out that crystals are always cold to the touch. When you touch them, they're cold. So, my first question for you is what sparked your interest in crystals and minerals?
Um, yeah, I started as a kid walking the train tracks in Lake Oswego with my dad, and we used to pick up agate and carnelian off the tracks. And I didn't know much about it then. I was just collecting pretty rocks. Um, but through the years of learning about minerals and crystals and geology, I got really into geology on a 7th grade field trip to Mount St. Helens. And there were people up there studying the volcano. It was venting for the first time in almost a decade. So a lot of researchers up there. And
Mhm.
one of them that I got talking to was a geology professor, and he really sparked my interest in the science behind minerals and crystals. And I just continued from then on.
And that was, didn't something happen to you in college with with what you decided to major in?
Oh, yeah. So going to Portland State straight out of high school, my first year geology professor was the gentleman that I had met at Mount St. Helens at 12 years old. And
That was so cool.
yeah, so
And
really like meant to be
did he
experience.
remember you?
He didn't remember me specifically, but he remembered talking to someone that was very interested in it and was excited that he had fueled my passion enough to meet me again.
That's so cool. That is really so cool that he started that with you. And it started with your dad and then it went on to him.
hmm
So did you get a degree or something? I mean, I don't know anything about this. Did you get a degree in that?
Yeah, I got my 4 year degree. I have a Bachelor of Science in geology, and I would have continued, but I was told unless I wanted to get stuck behind a computer to stop going to school, start getting out in the field, start doing your own thing. And so I did.
Okay.
And yeah, met my husband by getting out there and doing my own thing.
So how did that start? You just started, kind of explain that process.
The mining
Mm-hmm.
process.
Mm-hmm. How does that work?
So it's very old school, right? It's one of the oldest
Mm-hmm.
professions there is. Even, the dwarfs and Snow White were miners, right? So a lot of it is very old school. You go out and physically stake an area of land. Then you turn in your GPS coordinates and your map and your paperwork and everything via snail mail to the BLM and the Forestry Service and the county. And then you're able to start mineral exploration and mining from then on.
Really?
Yes.
You just go out and stake land and they give you permission or not permission to mine.
Yeah. The only reasons that they would deny is if somebody has a patent claim, which means that way back when they took that area of land out of designation for the purpose of railroading. Forestry products was another one. Homesteading way back when.
Oh,
And so those are patent, which means that no matter how much you want to be able to explore those areas, the government technically doesn't have rights to them, even though they are on public land.
so you don't own the land, but you can go out there and, I don't know, is excavate the correct word?
Yeah. I excavate. We do all kinds of stuff. So what it is you become a steward of the land. You
Mm.
have to show the government every year how much work you do and how you're helping preserve that area.
Oh,
As
that's
far
good.
as bringing minerals to the market is considered preservation because you're giving to the government's economy by bringing that new material to market. And then you also do have to pay a certain amount and talk about how when you first start work, you talk about what tools you're going to use. You make sure that it's not going to impact any water drainage systems, any natural habitats or wildlife or anything like that. It's a very long process, really. It takes about 6 months to get approved for operations. People come out and survey the area, make sure that you don't have any protected species in your area.
Oh, good.
Funny story, one of our mining claims, we can only work for 1 month out of the year.
Oh,
And
really?
that's because it's a nesting area for the great horned owl. And we have to wait until the horned owl has laid its eggs, hatched eggs, and flown off to new areas before we can start mining. And then when they come back to nest the following year, we have to stop. So we only get 1 month up there between snow and waiting for the owl to leave. But yeah, it's a lot of people think that we're just going and wreaking havoc on the area, but the truth is that we actually help preserve the area because now you have eyes on it. You're making sure that there's no garbage or landslide or unprotected species being moved out of their natural habitat. And then the fees that you pay ensure that somebody is auditing that area that you're working. And it also helps in the reclaiming process if you were to abandon your mine.
I like that. So they're really conscious of what's going on up there.
Yes, absolutely. We have people dropping on us all the time to make sure that we're not doing anything illegal or invasive to the habitat.
So do you kind of get to know the people that come and check on you too? Is it like the same people?
Yeah, it's actually a pretty small group of people that work on that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are focused on forestry products and that sort of thing that take up a widespread area
Oh.
versus mining, which can be very localized. So there's only a handful of people that you run across in the process.
And how many mines do you have?
We have seven between California, Oregon, and Washington. And then we do branch out to other states.
You're busy.
Yes.
In addition to your store too.
Yes, yeah. The store honestly just helps fund the next operation. It's not, we're not getting rich off of it or anything. It's
Hmm.
just the love of minerals and the rush that you get finding new deposits.
Oh, I bet that would be so exciting. I bet. And okay, pardon my ignorance. So when you're mining, do you find different types of crystals, or is it just one type per mine, or how does that work?
Yeah, good question. It actually varies on the type of rock that you're working. So for one of our claims, we it's a metamorphic rock complex. So we get all types of minerals from micas to quartz and calcite and vesuvinites, and our
Mm.
main mineral that we're focusing on is garnet. So
Garnet?
yeah, so the that's our mine in California. That was our first staked claim. Um, and I say staked claim because there's two ways to acquire. You can either purchase from someone's old prospect that they're getting rid of, they don't want to work anymore, or you can
Hmm.
stake your own. So this was our first staked claim. We did it from the ground up ourselves, basically. But yeah, lots of mineral types there. Definitely more of a variety than any of our other spots. Um, for our Oregon spot, where we're currently doing operations right now, it's just barite. We haven't found any other mineral types there yet.
Hmm. Hmm.
We're just starting exploration. It's a claim that we staked just last year, so we're really getting in there and making sure that this is an area that we want to keep, or if it's one that we're just going to mine for a season and let go.
So how
But
often do you have to go out to do the mining? Because don't you have like storage units full of minerals?
yeah, we we do. We actually keep two storage units, one with minerals and one with mining equipment.
That's a lot.
Yeah. um, so yeah, I mean, when we go out, we do get quite a bit. It also depends on the length of time for operations. Some areas, like the one in Washington that we can only work for a month, uh,
Mhm.
we don't get a ton of material. It's also in a very remote location. We have to hike in. It's 2,000 feet, which isn't crazy, but I mean, it's almost half a mile. It's straight
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
The area that when we're working, we are harnessed and roped off to the cliff. It's a 600-foot drop in a gulch.
Wow.
And so you just don't get a
Wow.
lot of material out of that area. And then some areas, like our Garnet claim, you can drive the car right up to the deposit.
Mm.
And though it is a very hard material to work, that area we're using drills and explosives to break the rock. And honestly, it doesn't even do much damage. It barely cracks the rock.
Seriously.
It's very hard material. But in that operation, we're able to leave with 2 car loads full of material just because of how easily accessible the mining area is.
That's fascinating. I want to tell the audience I was told by a psychic medium a couple stones that I needed to get. They were not stones that most people carry in their stores. And I asked her about them. And they were, tell me the stones again, prehnite
Hmm.
and apophyllite.
Yes.
Did I say them right? She goes, "Oh
Yep.
yeah, I got them," and she she had trays of them, and it was so. I said, "You do?" And I thought I was going to have to, search for these, and then I got to select them, and it was kind of cool knowing that she had, excavated those and taken them out, and they were extremely reasonable, which I really enjoyed too. And so I was able to get some for me and for my friend Tracy also too. Yeah. Okay, so tell me, let's start talking about, well, let's talk about stones that are passed off as stones that are not stones, and then let's talk about some particular stones. How can people tell when stones are not stones?
A big one, as you had stated previously, is by feeling them. A real stone most real stones will be cold to the touch. Um, Often these fakes are made out of epoxies and plastic, which have
Mhm.
a higher specific heat, which means that they don't cool off quickly. Whereas stones will have a lower specific heat and they do cool very quickly when you're not holding them or they're not near a heat source. And I say most stones because amber is a big one that a lot of people misconstrue. I have people that come in and look at amber in my store and they're like, oh, this is fake amber. How can you sell me fake? Well, it's not fake. Amber is fossilized tree resin,
Yes.
which we know resin is plasticky. And,
Yeah.
and even the fossilized will feel plasticky. The way that you can tell for amber is that amber will always fluoresce under a UV light. So that's
It
how
will
you
do
can know if
what?
it's faked or not. It will always fluoresce under a UV light. So I always have my UV Beast little UV flashlight. And amber,
Oh,
I don't have any amber with me currently, but
I have a
amber will
couple
always
amber
glow.
rings.
Yeah. So if you get a UV light, amber will always fluoresce like a blue, like a pale bluish color under light. It's really obvious and noticeable when you
So
light
when
it
we
up.
get together, bring that light with you.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, and I also have amber that has some bugs in it too, so I know it's amber.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Bugs are a
Oh,
big giveaway.
so the cold and the amber you can't always tell unless you have that special light for it.
Yeah. And then another big one is the weight.
What?
So for weight,
Oh.
so
Oh.
for common faked stones, I would say malachite is a really big one that's faked. Start for starters, malachite is never black. When you see faked malachite, it's often green and black banding in it. Malachite will always be green and dark green and various shades of green, but never black. There's no black in copper when it um, oxidizes. So that's another one. And then copper, malachite is a copper ore. It's very heavy. The plastic resin
Okay. Good.
fake will not be. So yeah, the weight is a big tell also.
Okay. I have malachite and it is heavy to
Yeah.
hold. Okay. But it's got green and white in it. Is that
Yeah.
appropriate?
Yeah. So occasionally you'll get calcite banding in malachite. You can also find quartz banding with malachite. Malachite does form in association with other minerals, especially
Okay.
white minerals. So
Hmm.
it's not uncommon for there to be a bit of white in there as well.
I would hate to think I don't have real stones.
Yes.
Do we have to be wary of stones that, and I don't mean to malign anyone, stones not from a trusted source overseas or anything? Or, I mean, I don't know. That's just a question from me. I don't know. I'm not trying to, I'm
Yeah.
just curious.
Yeah. So China is it's a great source for stones. They do buy from all over the world, including the US, and then process the stones themselves. So oftentimes the sources that they buy from are not the best as far as socioeconomics and the way that they treat their
Mhm.
workers and their people.
Okay.
Um, so there's kind of a gray area there, right? Because you're buying from China, you don't know about potential sources or where your stones are coming from. We always buy our stones from miners directly. We buy from the source. We do have manufacturers that will carve, polish, shape stones for us, and we will
Hmm.
buy stones from the source and have it shipped to them for processing before we receive the stones.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we make sure that we know exactly where our minerals are coming from.
Okay. Very trusted then.
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about the love stone.
Rose
Rose
quartz.
quartz. Got this baby in my bedroom. Rose quartz.
Yes. Rose quartz is a great stone. It gets its color, so it's quartz. It gets its color from manganese inclusions within the crystals themselves. And it's really good for the heart chakra and healing emotional wounds related to love. It's also really great for self love and just coming out of bad relationships, or maybe even a bad relationship with yourself. It can be really good for healing your heart.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I always heard it was good, good for healing the heart.
Yes.
And then, any more on the rose quartz before we go on?
Um, it almost never forms crystal structure. In fact, I don't believe it does form crystal structure at all. You can get like pinkish or rosy looking quartz that's usually colored by hematite, but the true manganese quartz, that we all call rose quartz, it forms in like seams and just chunky deposits. It's called a bull quartz, which means it has no crystal structure.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay. And then we have clear quartz.
Clear. Yes, clear quartz is great for amplifying your intentions. Uh, Whatever emotions you're feeling, whatever you put out into the universe, the clear quartz will just amplify that. It's really great to pair with other stones. Um, it is one of the most common minerals on Earth, so there are lots of sources for clear quartz. Uh,
What, what other stones amplify this?
Um, you can use it in pairing with protective stones like black tourmaline or obsidian, and it will amplify the protective energy. You can also use it just around your home to amplify the good vibes in your space. We keep clear quartz at the what are those called, the compass directions. So we keep a rose quartz in the windowsill in the north, south, east, and west points of our house,
Oh, do you?
just to amplify the energy in our home and to bring clear and peaceful vibes. It's really great for if you use in pairing with amethyst. It's really great for amplifying those calming feelings, relaxation,
Hmm.
and it's just a really nice clearing of your space, clearing of your intentions, but also amplifying what it is that you're trying to put out in the universe.
So I need to get four, not necessarily this large, but four of those and put them in the different directions of the house.
Yeah, I recommend it. It's really nice to have kind of that clear space, good intentions. And a lot of people that come into my home that don't even know I have them are like, God, the vibes in your home are just so lovely and so nice and so relaxing.
You know, I'm
So,
wondering, Rebecca,
mhm.
um, this one sits by obsidian. I have an obsidian. What do you call these? It's not a sphere. Um, I can't even
The
remember the shape of it. Whatever it is.
obelisk.
Yes.
Yeah.
But people always tell me the energy feels so good in my house. It's got to be because of my stones. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
it's very possible.
Hey, thanks for clearing that up. So I think we're getting together, so I'm going to have to get some clear quartz from you,
Okay.
four of them. And then I gave this to my husband before he passed, an amethyst. And let's talk about amethyst.
Yeah, amethyst is really great for just all around healing. People use it for sobriety, for calming, relaxation. It's also really good for keeping other people's negative energy away from you. And I recommend it to almost anyone that comes in my store that's like, I just need a really good healing stone, because it covers all of the bases. It's a really, really great stone.
When people come in, do they ask where to place these stones in their house, or do you recommend that, or do they just get the stones?
Yeah, some people do ask for recommendations, how to cleanse, where to place. It depends on the stone and what you're hoping to get out of it. So if you buy an amethyst and you want it to be relaxing, calming atmosphere, I recommend putting it in the space that you spend the most time. If you spend the most time in your living room, put it there, in your office, in your bedroom, wherever you find yourself sitting to relax, that's the best place to keep it if you want to use it for relaxation. If you want
Okay.
to use it to help you sleep, put it next to your bed. If you want to use it for just body healing and removing others' negative energies, I recommend wearing it either in a necklace or ring or bracelet. Um, so really, it just depends on what the use is. Goes back to the clear quartz. If you want it to bring good energy to your home, place it in those four corners. Um, if you need it to amplify your energy to the universe, I recommend wearing it. So it really just depends on what you plan on
What?
using it for and
Okay.
where to place it or how to use it.
Okay. I have mine in the office, and I also have it in the kitchen. So I think those are good spots for it.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember, is it carnelian, this one that we were going to talk about?
Um,
Kind of
the
yellow one.
citrine.
Citrine. Sorry,
You're good.
citrine.
Yeah. Citrine is one of my favorites. It is a transformative stone. If you're,
Ooh.
yeah, if you are going through a transition in your life and you need to rid the negative energy and bring in positive energy, it's really an amazing stone for that. So any negative energy that it takes in, it transforms it, puts it back out as positive energy. And it's also so the mineral citrine is colored from the same as amethyst. They're both hematite included quartz. Citrine has undergone more radiation exposure. It's not radioactive.
Oh,
I
okay.
always want to disclose that
Kind of
it's not
scared me on
radioactive.
that one.
It's been so the hematite has been altered to look more in the citrine color, whereas amethyst is more the purple color.
Yes,
But
yes.
yeah, but both are great for calming and relaxation. The difference would be that amethyst being the all around healer and citrine being transformative.
Where would you keep it, the transformative crystal? Does that matter?
Honestly, anywhere. If you're a therapist and you're constantly talking to people and have their negative energy, it's great to keep in your office.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
if you are someone that makes cold calls all day long and people are yelling at you over the phone, keep it in there to I did that. um, keep it in your office to help calm you down, to help transform that negative to positive.
Hmm.
um, if you are a teacher or you're constantly on the go, I was a truck driver for a while and I road rage really bad. I would wear citrine. I do. um,
I could just hear you cussing.
yeah. um, but yeah, wearing citrine can be really helpful if you're on the go a lot and you just need help regulating the negative to
Teachers,
positive.
police officers,
Yes. Yep.
politicians.
Yep. Yeah. Great for wearing uh, a great wearing stone. Honestly, all of them are great wearing stones. Amethyst, citrine, clear quartz,
Hmm.
um, yeah, rose quartz. Really great stones for wearing to just have with you to constantly use their energy to help, regulate your emotions, calm, stress relief, negative to positives. They're all really great stones.
I got to tell you, you are a wealth of knowledge, a wealth. You know what you're talking about. You really do. I love that. I want to talk about your store, but I also want to know, does your professor of so long ago know what you have done with the knowledge that you gained?
Um, I haven't spoken to him in a very long time, but up until my son was born, we had spoke quite often, and by then I had already been out of school for 6 or 7 years. But we do keep in touch and talk, and he knew that I was doing mineral exploration
Good.
myself, not working for a large company, and that's how I had met my husband. And we keep in touch here and there via Facebook, but it's not really a great way to make a meaningful connection.
I bet he's
He
so proud of you. I bet he
he's
is.
he's amazing.
He had that
We
spark for you.
yes, yeah. And he helped keep me in school too. I had said before that I was a truck driver. I did that to pay for college.
Oh,
And it got to a point where I was working so much and trying to keep up on my studies, and everything just started to slip. My world was falling apart, and he helped me come back and regroup and really keep me on path for my degree.
good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. Really good. Yeah. All right. Tell us about your store.
My baby.
Your baby. What's
my
the name of
my
it?
fourth baby. Um
Wait a minute. Don't you just have two kids?
well, two and a bonus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my stepdaughter. Um but yeah, so it was started honestly, it was started as a Hail Mary. We were just coming out of COVID. I had lost my job. My husband was a stay-at-home dad up until the shutdowns and
Mhm.
after as well. Um, and we didn't know what else to do. Vending markets started opening back up. Open air markets started opening back up. We were
Mhm.
all masking, obviously, and we're like, we during the shutdowns we were out mining
Mhm.
pretty much the whole time, because what else are we going to do? It's away from society, and it's what we love. So
Mhm.
we had amassed this huge collection of self-mined material, and we're we're like, okay, well, we need money because rent is coming due now and everything
Mhm.
is catching back up. Let's try one of these markets. Let's try selling. And so many people in the community were just so excited to see what we had done and hear our story and buy our rocks, and it was amazing. I honestly didn't know that there was such a market for it. We had always sold wholesale online to around the world, really.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
didn't realize that there was such a local market for it.
Oh,
So,
yes.
after about a year and a half of doing vending events, we were contacted by the marketing person for the Vancouver Mall and asked if we were
Oh.
interested in a space. And of course, I was like, it's probably ridiculously expensive. I don't know if it's going to support us, yada,
Mhm.
yada, yada. So just why not? We met with them. We had talked about it. We saw some spaces, and we we jumped. We were like, all right, let's give it a try. Why not? And it took us about 6 months to set up, and we were draining our bank account at that point, trying to get enough material in and displayed and
And
looking nice.
variety.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And got it together, and we opened the store. I think I had 50 cents in my bank account.
Oh my gosh.
So it was one of
Oh.
those, this is either going to make or break us. Let's give
Mhm.
it a go. So we opened
Mhm.
our store, and the first weekend we just had such an amazing turnout and so much support in the community. They were so excited to have us, and it's gone ever since. We're looking at about a year, 2.5 years at the Vancouver Mall.
And what's the name of the store?
Castro's Minerals.
Castro's Minerals.
Our last name When my husband's last name, my married name. And
Now, do you work there all the time?
I don't work there all the time. My husband and I work there when we're not doing operations. We do work there majority of the time. I have a friend that covers a few days a week for us so that we can have some time together.
Okay,
And
well,
yeah,
Tracy and I are going to make a field trip out probably next month. So I'll find out when you're going to work.
yeah. I'll
And
be there
so,
majority of next month. We're gonna be wrapping up operations either end of this month or middle of next month. But either way, we're gonna be back at the store next month.
okay. And you're going to meet her. I think you're going to be with us when I get together with your mom too.
Yeah.
So I think your mom's talked to you. I don't know if she has or not. I
um,
might be jumping the gun here.
off and on.
Okay. And then I want to show the beautiful stone that I got from her. Isn't this gorgeous?
The
And this
pre-night.
one is the prehnite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this I have one here by my desk and the other by my bed. So that's where I put those two. And I think they're
Nice.
just gorgeous. And I sit there and hold it when I'm in bed. I just find, and I've never seen this stone before ever. And will you tell the
Yeah.
people about the properties of this stone too?
Yeah. Pre-night is great for the heart. It's a heart chakra stone. Opens up the heart for new love, new experiences, also healing, and just like healing of past wounds and moving forward with new experiences.
Oh boy, am I doing that.
Good.
Okay, is there anything I didn't cover that you would like to cover? Because I want to make sure I covered everything about your business, about you, about your stones, and the whole bit.
Um, I can't think of anything to share. Just that we're very passionate about what we do and love to share our experience and help people with their experiences. And yeah,
Not only passionate, knowledgeable too.
yes.
I mean, extremely knowledgeable. Okay, Rebecca,
Yeah.
I thank you for coming on. It was fascinating, and I'm going to tell you, I learned a lot, and I know if I learned a lot, other people learned a lot too. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.